What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm welcoming you back to our Halloween week here at One Mind Syndicate. Today, we will go through a short story that was sent to us. I'm not exactly sure if you're the creator of this story, but if not, this short story was sent to us by one of you guys, a subscriber, and it is written by Cornice. It's a Grey Knight short story. And as we go through this story, I will be showing you images of my personal Grey Knight army. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into this story. The desolate wasteland hummed with the psychic spoor of the demons infesting it. Watching with cold eyes, Justicar Iridius gripped the haft of his sword and waited for Librarian Tyrell to issue his orders. Justicar, Geralt murmured to his right. Where do you want us? Iridius turned his attention to his brother knight and replied, Wherever Tyrell directs us. Be assured your blade will be wet with demon blood soon, brother. Behind the assembled Grey Knight squad, Librarian Harris Tyrell was concentrating hard. The presence of so many demons on this world was making the warp boil and twist inside his mind, and unbidden thoughts were washing over him like a tide of filth. Ensconced in a natural bastion of stone and basalt, the survivors of the 14th Brotherhood had endured nearly 3 weeks under this unrelenting demonic attack. Since having come to Idonia, a seal of potential demonic portal, the Grey Knights found themselves facing not a single incursion of demons, but an entire army. Before they could seal the portal, 50 kilometers away, nearly an entire host of demons had flocked through it, forcing the knights to retreat, with casualties mounting higher and higher. Never before in Tyrell or Iridius' long histories of service have they had such high casualties. Only a powerful ancient demon could orchestrate such a slaughter. Now, in the cool chill of the night, reprieve had come only briefly, as Tyrell had put up warding sigils around the cave, while the remaining 30 knights steeled their souls against the battle which was to come. Iridius crossed over to Tyrell and murmured, We cannot win here, Harrius. The demons have the advantage. Tyrell's furrowed brow deepened, and he slowly looked at the younger Justicar. I know that, Caleb, but we will fight here, and we will die. But our end will be such a... You will not die. A voice echoed from the shadowy depths of the cave. Tyrell and Iridius, along with the rest of the Grey Knights, immediately turned into a battle stance to face the rear of the cave. You need not fear me, brother knights, came the voice again. You know me. Indeed, you do. Show yourself, Tyrell called, his warp sight trying to peel back at the darkness. From the shadows, as if stepping from them, came a tall figure in ornate silver armor. A proud yet tattered banner hung from his shoulders, and his deep red cloak trailed the rocky ground. In one armored fist, a massive sword glowed softly, with barely contained power, while the other was open in greeting, placing the 30 stormbolters raised at him. Slowly, without conscious thought, the throng of the Grey Knights slowly fell to one knee, their heads bowed and expressions full of wonder. Lord Caldor Drago, the lost Supreme Grand Master, had come. Shaking his head, as if weary of the esteem he was held in, Caldor bade the knights to rise and resume their vigil, while he strode over to Tyrell and Iridius. Librarian Harris Tyrell and Justicar Caleb Iridius of the 14th Brotherhood, my lord, Tyrell introduced himself. Both had been mere battle brothers when Drago had been sent into the warp, yet they knew well of his legend, as well as anyone knew the Imperial text. Tyrell, Iridius, Drago responded, tell me all. Over the next 2 hours, Drago listened in as the 2 Grey Knights recounted all they knew of what had occurred so far. The initial discovery of the portal, the events surrounding its closing, the arrival of the demonic host, and the desperate fighting that had driven them back to this desolate last stand. At the end, Drago thought for a great while, then a slow nod was all he expressed to show them. The librarians shook their head. "I assume you are not in contact with your strike cruiser Harris," he stated. They were not. "The warp energy of the Horde and the composition of the planet's surface makes communication almost impossible, my lord. I am not so well versed in the arts of psychic communion as was my late brother, Captain Vigo. We are currently trapped here. We're trapped, Harrius. We're trapped. I am a Grand Master, and though I had little cause to use it, I am very well versed in the art of psychic communion. Now let me tell you our plan." And so it was until daybreak. The Supreme Grand Master of the Grey Knights held council of war with a ragtag band of survivors of the Order. His plan was simple, and though it pained many to see it through, they all agreed. With the rising of the sun came the first of the enemy. 4 foul flamers of Zeech arose. Their warp fire, capable of annihilating even power armor, was ready to burn them away. However, side cannons and storm bolter fire from the Cave of the Mouth tore them apart before they could get into range. Then, lithe demonettes of Slaanesh sprang from boulder to boulder, seeking to dart around the storm of shells to engage the Grey Knights in close combat. Librarian Tyrell, his eyes blazing fire, directed his fury at these abominations, casting them down with lightning from his fingers again and again. After these 2 incursions came gibbering and slaving pink horrors in the droves, just too many to number, and they swarmed right up to the cave. Iridius desperately directed the strike squad's fire as best as he could, his fellow Justicars putting all their energies into leading their men. It seemed that the horrors would overwhelm even the staggering firepower of the Grey Knights. Then a searing flame billowed out from the cave's entrance, surrounding the knights, yet not burning them, while the horrors at the front of the ranks exploded and convulsed. Caldor Drago unleashed his sanctified flame again and again, with Tyrell pouring lightning alongside the legendary Grey Knight. "Tyrell, it is done. Prepare your men," Caldor shouted to the librarian, even as he poured more fire into the approaching demons. "Aye, my lord," Tyrell shouted back. "And Harrius, do not hesitate, not for a second. That is a command." Drago boomed as he started to stride down the path, leaving the librarian behind him. Tyrell watched the legend walk away, his Stormbolter splitting death and the Titan Sword striking demon left and right. Then his attention was all on his remaining men. Quickly getting into formation, the survivors of the 14th Brotherhood waited. After seemingly an age, in which they all could hear the sounds of battle further down the path from the cave entrance, and with every battle brother yearning to be alongside the Grand Master, a charge filled the air, and then a blinding flash of light. The strike cruiser, Redemption, had finally locked on to the Grey Knights with the aid of Drago, and teleported them aboard. Once on the bridge, Tyrell hurried over to the ship's captain, Marcellus, and ordered him to carry out the rest of the Grand Master's plan. Marcellus was reluctant, but Tyrell urged him to do it, alongside with Iridius's orders. Finally, Marcellus issued the order. Drago, surrounded by demon corpses and facing a field of beasts, saw a glimpse of the demon who had orchestrated this massacre of so many of his battle brothers. It was none other than Fate Weaver. And then the sky flashed white. With the first of the orbital bombardment shells, he smiled and put more strength into his sword strokes. The 14th Company would be avenged by the end of this day. Redemption poured fire from its bombardment cannons for over 3 hours. At the end of that time, the sensor sweeps of the plains around the caves showed no signs of the demonic horde. Their corporeal bodies destroyed, they had been forced to return to the warp. A victory for the Grey Knights, although a bitter one. 50 battle brothers were lost, and the legendary Drago was either incinerated or pulled back into the warp to continue his lonely quest. And that brings us to the end of this short story. Once again, I gotta give props to Cornus for this awesome story. Again, guys, I will put his link down below, so if you guys want to read it for yourselves. And a big thank you to one of our subscribers who sent us the link to this awesome story. And so thank you for that. But let me know what you guys thought about this. Does this make you appreciate Drago more? Does this take away from his OP-ness, from his Mary Sue-ness that Matt Ward has bestowed upon him? I think so. It shows that Drago wasn't just, a one-man army. He actually cared for his men, and he did all this for them. Now, what did you guys think about this Halloween-themed army? Well, not really an army, but the whole setup to showcase my army. It was pretty cool. I think so, at least. Let me know what you guys think. Also, what else do you think I should add to my composition of my army? I got 2 Terminator squads. I got that 1 Strike squad. Got a Grey Knight Librarian, as well as Drago, and 2 Dread Knights. I've also got 2 Dreadnoughts. One is a Contemptor, and the other one is the Forge World. I forgot what it's called, but it's the Forge World Dreadnought. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this, and we'll continue on with more Halloween-themed videos. And as always, guys, don't forget to hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.